Chase Kennedy and Josh Baker.
So Chase, how would you describe your role over the last couple weeks in comparison to your role when you first started here?
When I first got here, it was more just straight defensive end, just 4 down front, be on the line. And in the past couple, like 2-3 weeks probably, it's been more just like roaming around off the ball, like 3 yards, heel of the lineman for real, just reading guards really. And that's really it so far.
Would you classify yourself as like a linebacker or stand-up D lineman?
I would probably say linebacker, outside linebacker type role, and just more so evolving into like the official linebacker spot.
Ryan? Josh, Coach Brennan has mentioned a bunch of times about like the musical chairs on the offensive line and how it's led to maybe some unsettling. From your perspective, how much has that impacted things when there's different guys on either side of you, like depending on the game?
I think it's good for all these guys to be able to get reps in certain situations, and I think being able to build that trust and communication with all these new guys in maybe different spots is also like a really good and important thing for right now and for the future as well.
But as far as the actual game performance, do you think that in any way it is affecting things because maybe someone is used to playing on the left side and now they're on the right side, and it, like in the moment it messes with stuff?
I don't know. We just got to execute what we're told and what we're taught.
Chase, within that new role of yours, do you have the freedom to kind of pick and choose where you're going to rush from? I assume that you're either dropping or rushing, and that's a call. But as far as like, how do you figure that out?
Most of the time it's just play call, just making a lineman in front of me right. So if they go outside, I'll probably fill it inside, just filling that open gap really, or just straight ahead, just really play call based.
When you look at the defense overall, the last 3-4 games, the pass rush hasn't been quite as effective as it was previously. Why do you think?
It's just really just we just got to keep repping the little details of it, whether that's get off to staying on sides, watching the ball, hands, feet, just different stuff like that. We just got to keep repping it, keep putting it in work in the practice environment.
You spent a lot of time doing that stuff this last week?
Oh, most definitely. Like we try to get some pass rush stuff in every day, whether it's after practice, during individual periods. So we're big on that, just trying to find different ways to improve.
Josh, how would you best describe how the protection adjustments work for you guys offensively? You know, when you get to the line and you see what's in front of you and how you adjust to if, they're showing guys maybe potentially blitzing from the left or they're, how do you guys make those calls and try to make sure everybody's on the same page about who they need to be picking up?
Sure thing. Week to week, we have different adjustments and whatnot based off what we're getting, based off of the film from the past weeks and the entire season. Noah has built-in checks, and we have the very important role of communicating those checks, and we have a very important role of communicating what we're doing so that everyone's on the same page, then we get everything blocked up.
What's your kind of role in that? Are you the leader for the line in that phase, or is that coming a lot mostly from Noah in the back?
My role is the communicator and making sure everyone knows what the play is and what the call is and where everyone's going. So that is my role itself.
Justin? In what ways do you think you need to improve the run game and make that an effective part of what you guys are doing?
I think we just need to execute and relate to Saturdays, and in this case Friday, what we're being taught and coached and rep every single day in practice, and we need to, as always, be more violent and more nasty.
And then how would you summarize how you guys are bringing along a guy like Michael Wooten during this process?
Doing well. I'm glad to see his process and him starting to become a better player and starting to see in practice how he's actually taking coaching points and really developing as a player. It's good to see that.
Ryan? Chase, Houston's got a very mobile quarterback, and early in the season there were a couple of those that gave the defense problems. What is the key to kind of keeping him contained and maybe turning him into just a pass-only guy?
Really just the details, just focusing on the coach's game plan they got for us and going out and executing it, because I feel like we have a good game plan going into it, so just executing the little small details every play.
When you guys, for both of you guys, when you watch the film of the UCF game, what did the line of scrimmage look like to you?
I would say defensive line of scrimmage, it was really just, the key was to just make them run sideways and not vertical. And I feel like we did a solid job of that up front. It was just details like making tackles, being in the right spot at the right time, just little stuff like that I feel like we could improve on because we're getting a lot of push up front. We just got to now finish plays.
Their D-line, they were good. They were big and strong, and we just didn't do a well enough job of executing that day.
Sure. And then moving forward, how can both sides of the ball play with more physicality?
I feel like that's just something we got to focus on in practice for real because at the end of the day, like when we go good on good, especially, it's like we got to show each side of the ball just like physicality that we know we have, physicality we know we want to bring, and show it throughout the week so we can do that on Saturdays.
You said it right. You practice how you play.
David? Josh, for you, just in terms of the West Virginia game, games like that where you kind of struggle individually, how do you assess that? How do you self-assess yourself and try to be better the next time out?
Sure thing. I go back and I look at exactly, like specifically what I'm struggling with, and that week it really attack that specific component, whatever that may be, and really just focus on attacking that and try to get that better, as long as everything else.
This new role, how comfortable are you right now in what they're asking you to do? Do you feel like you're still kind of trying to figure it out?
I feel like with the role they put me in, position to play, I feel like I'm comfortable with it. Just even though it's off the ball, it's something different than I've normally been doing. I feel like the coaches trust me to do that, and I don't want to let them down. So I just feel like right now, just got to keep playing and keep growing even more at that role, whatever it is.
For somebody that has their hand on the ground normally, is this kind of like, do you like kind of being able to kind of roam and be mobile?
I mean, I love it because even when I was DN, I was mostly just stand up most of the time, like hand in the dirt sometimes. But I love it, just being able to roam, use my athleticism, speed, just off the ball, really showcase that.
So Josh, last time Arizona played Houston, your predecessor, Josh McCauley thumped Ed Oliver on the helmet. What did you learn from playing behind Josh?
I remember actually seeing that picture of him tapping him after he jumped offside. That was actually really cool you mentioned that. I learned plenty of things from Josh, and one of the things that he taught me that it just stuck out to me as far as like watching other centers as well is just his poise and his calmness and his ability to understand what he was getting, because he did a great job of watching and reviewing film that week, and it was just amazing to see what he could do.
And then this year, with so much change going on around you, you've been right there in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
What has this experience been like for you as a center?
It's been interesting. I'm doing my best to be the solid rock in the middle and just being the best communicator that I can be and being a guy that is dependable in times of chaos. Yep.
Last question to Michael.
Josh, you've been through some rough patches. A part of teams that have been through some rough patches here. 2020 obviously was weird and difficult. 2021 was the start of a rebuild. 1 and 11. How can you take those experiences and maybe help guide some of the guys through the rough patch that the team is going through now?
Sure, you can communicate what is going on, what you've been through, in order to help these guys understand that all we have to do is just keep swinging and keep coming to work every single day, doing what the coaches are telling us to do, so that it does relay to Saturdays, and in this case, Friday.
Sure. What's Brent Brennan's main message been to the guys over the last couple of weeks?
Keep swinging. It's going to break. Keep swinging.
All right, that's our time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.